Hello, I'm Jaime Rodriguez, and this is Building Video Overlays with Microsoft Silverlight. What we're going to do here is spend the next 3 minutes learning two key concepts that you need to understand in order to do overlays in Silverlight. So let me close this finished scene, and I'm going to use Expression Blend to design our scene. And as you can see, this one's already built, but I'm going to remove all the assets, or at least get them out of the way. And now we have almost an empty screen. And the first thing that determines how things are drawn in Microsoft Silverlight is the order in which they appear. For example, here I can draw this small video in front or on top of the big video, because as you can see, the order here is that the big video will be drawn first and then the small video will be drawn second. If I switch the order, you see that my small video disappear, because now the small video came up first in terms of order, and it actually was drawn, and then the big video is drawn on top of it, and it doesn't have any transparency, so my small video went away. So the first thing that determines how things are drawn is order. Now if I had a bigger project, keeping track of order would become very cumbersome. So what I could do is actually use the Z-index, which also tells it how things are drawn on top of each other. For example, here, if I change the big video Z-index to 1, then again it's going to cover the small video. And if I go into the small video and I change its Z-index to 2, then it will actually again be back in front of the big video. But in this case, what we want is the big video to be the background to everything, so I'm going to go back and change their Z-index to 0. The same concept of Z-index and the same concept of order applies regardless of whether it's video. It would apply to this canvas right here, which is just another UI element, and it would also apply to this image right here. So the exact same two rules, which is the first one that appears in terms of order will be drawn in the back, and the second rule, which is the higher the Z-index, will be drawn on the front, would actually apply to any UI element. And obviously I'm showing you everything in Designer, but I've also added some runtime code to this project here to handle the arrow keys. So we're going to run this at runtime, and if I press the up arrow, then the Z-index of whatever element is selected is going to be increased. And if I press the down arrow, then the Z-index will be decreased, and I can use left and right arrows to actually play with opacity and kind of increase or decrease the transparency of an element. So let's see what this scene would look like, and let's play with it using the keys. So what you see here is everything shows up just right. And for example, here I can move my small video window, and if I press the down arrow a couple times, it actually disappears because the Z-index decreased enough where it's now behind the big video. If I press the up arrow, then it comes back on front because I'm playing with the Z-index and it's one off from wherever the big video is. Right? The same thing would apply to this image. As you can see here, this image is actually being drawn on top of the small video right now. And if I move the small video on top of or if I move it to where it could be on top of the image must, is still drawn on front. However, if I actually increase the Z-index of the small video, you can see that it now came on front. So you can actually manipulate this Z-index on runtime and actually move things up and to the front or to the back of whatever you're trying to draw. That's it. Those are the two concepts that you need to understand in order to do overlays in WPFE.